Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. In this module, we shall be studying about waste minimization, waste hierarchy and waste audit. In previous modules, we have studied about solid waste, their characteristics, their quantity generated in different countries, in different societies, including India. When we come to the waste treatment, basically there are two philosophies of the waste management. One of them is the waste minimization and second one is the waste treatment. The learning objective of this module are to understand the importance of waste minimization in waste management, to know about the hierarchy of waste management, and to know different steps involved in the waste audit. Waste minimization refers to strategies that aim to prevent waste generation at source through upstream intervention. This definition was given by United Nations Environment Programme in 2013. Waste minimization involves redesigning products and or changing social patterns concerning consumption and production of waste generation to prevent the creation of waste and minimize the toxicity of waste that is produced. Waste minimization or prevention is fundamental concept of waste management policy. Other examples include waste hierarchy, life cycle of a product, resource efficiency, and environmentally sound management. The most effective way to reduce waste is by not creating it. Some examples of waste reduction include using recyclable plates or other recyclable materials and coffee mugs instead of disposable ones, buying durable products that can be repaired rather than replaced. There are so many other examples which we can give for waste reduction. Now the question arises, what is the need of waste reduction? Actually, waste is not only an environmental problem but also an economic loss, as these resources that are not beings. If you look at a waste, the waste material is containing a number of resources. If this waste is disposed and remain unattended, it means the nutrients which are present in the waste are lost forever. If this waste is recovered or if we do minimum waste, that time we can save the resources which are present in them. The amount of waste generated is steadily increasing across the world. This can be attributed to a number of factors like changes in consumption pattern of people, societies or countries, economic growth of different societies and countries, as well as this also depend on the globalization. The increasing quantities of waste is putting high demand on land, as landfill is one of the commonest technique to tackle waste. Whereas we already know the land is limited with us, and land is one such thing that cannot be increased. Whatever land was given to us on day one by the nature, we have same quantity of land and we have to live in that quantity of land only. Globally, the available land is decreasing due to growing pattern, and demand for land for other purposes is shrinking, and the shrinking land resource is one of the major driver for waste minimization. Secondly, the dump sites or landfill sites have been identified as a major contributor of greenhouse gases, thus confirming their positive role in climate change. This in turn is drawing attention to better waste management practices that emphasize on waste reduction. Thirdly, the cost of waste management is going high day by day. In order to overcome this, it becomes essential to target the reduction in waste production, which can be achieved by better production processes. Therefore, it can be concluded that the increasing quantities of waste, decreasing availability of landfill sites, role of waste in climate change, and the high cost of waste management are some of the important drivers for minimizing the quantities of waste or waste minimization. Now, the question arises, what are the approaches which we can use for waste minimization? Basically, waste minimization is having two sides. One side is at production, that is production side, and second is at consumption side. At the production side, actions must be taken at industrial level, and those actions should include effective processes for manufacturing products with enhanced materials, cleaner and safer production, improved designs for reuse, recycle and durability, resource maximization, reducing the volume of toxic materials, reduction of production waste, and facilitate recycling. At consumption level, actions must be taken at individual level, and the actions at individual levels may include increased awareness on impact of waste and role of individuals to tackle the same, changes in consumption behavior and lifestyle, participation in waste management programs. Now I'm going to discuss a few examples with you, waste minimization measure taken at individual level. For example, home composting. For home composting, segregate organic waste, and this segregated organic waste that is generated at our homes, particularly here I am talking about non-toxic biodegradable waste. This includes our food waste and other waste, and compost them to get manure, and this manure can be used as a soil conditioner for our kitchen gardens, or it can also be used as a potting material at our homes. Buy durable things and maintain them properly so that you don't have to replace them oftenly. We have to remember that our forefathers, means our grandparents, had the TVs and fridges. They used them for 25 years or even more, but our present generation are disposing such kind of material, even they are in working condition after 5, 7, 3 years or so. We should avoid using disposable cutlery and dining ware. We should carry our own reusable water bottles so as to avoid buying disposable water bottles while traveling. We should carry our own bags while we are going for shopping. We should sort the waste at home. This is very, very important, because once we do sorting at home, then the management of waste can be done easily. We should keep newspapers, cartons, bottles, cans, etc., means the recyclable items, in one bin, whereas the waste that can be biodegraded, or the waste that is biodegradable in nature, that can be kept in the another bin, and the waste which can neither be recycled nor be biodegradable, that ultimately going to a landfill site, that waste can be stored in a third bin that will be going to landfill. Waste minimization measures that can be taken at institutional level, they include that institutions should think green while procuring things for institution, for their offices, for businesses and for schools. Institutions should practice waste segregation and adopt recycling techniques. Institutions should manage their cafeteria, their canteen waste by composting them. This will reduce the quantity that is going to the landfill, as well as this will give us some manure, or with the help of this composting we can recover some of the nutrients, and these nutrients which we have recovered in the form of manure can be used in the gardens of the institutions. If we come to the hierarchy of waste management, the waste management hierarchy indicate an order of preferences for action to reduce and manage waste. If you see in this slide, on the right hand side, a inverted pyramid is given. Basically, this is the pyramid of hierarchy of waste management. The top of pyramid is the flat base, and its emphasis is on prevention of waste generation. Prevention is the foremost step in the waste management hierarchy. It can be done by using less material during manufacturing, And this can be achieved by having efficient technologies, efficient processes. Avoid hazardous materials, because avoiding hazardous material is also a mean of prevention. Prevention is also known as a reduction step. This is the first R of the waste management. The next preferred action in the waste management hierarchy is reduced waste generation through reuse. Reuse refers to material that can be used again in their original form. This is the second R of waste management. Reuse can be done through repair, refurbishing the whole item or its spare parts. Then recycling. Recycling is the next preferred action in the waste management hierarchy. Recycling include composting or anaerobic digestion of the biodegradable and non-toxic materials. Recycling is the process of collecting and processing materials that would otherwise be disposed of as waste and turning them into new product. This is the third R of waste management. After exhausting these three R's, the waste management looks at material recovery and waste to energy processes. Energy is recovered from processes such as combustion and pyrolysis. The final action, which is represented by the pointed top of the pyramid, means that is the last point of the pyramid, is disposal, which is the least preferred option. Landfill and incineration without energy recovery are the disposal options in waste hierarchy. Waste hierarchy results in good environmental practices. Now I would like to discuss with you some examples of waste hierarchy option. Let me take one example of waste hierarchy options for paper and board. First, prevention. In the prevention, we should use less packaging material. We should reuse the packaging material. We should minimize printing and print on both sides. We should reduce paper use by using emails or other means, other electronic means. We should use one-side printed paper as notepads. The environmental benefits of prevention will reduce greenhouse gases emission, energy consumption, and resource reuse. Reuse. Segregate and shred paper and shell it. Use one-side printed paper as notepad. Reuse reduces the environmental impacts. Then recycling. Segregate paper from waste, sort by grade and recycle in paper industry. At certain times, energy is also recovered from paper. Recycling saves the energy and minimizes the fossil fuel consumption. Typically, twice the amount of energy is saved if we adopt recycling. Disposal. If any of the above option doesn't work properly, then the waste paper is compacted or baled to reduce its volume. By doing so, the space in the landfill is reduced and the frequency of collection can be minimized. Paper should be avoided in landfill as it emits methane gas. Instead of this, if the soiled paper is non-toxic, then we can look for composting and vermicomposting options for this. Yes, in this slide, we have shown the waste management hierarchy along with output at each stage. If you see on the left hand side, you will find value of resources decreased, and on right hand side you will find disposal capacity needs increase. So the first step is prevention. In prevention, we go for waste reduction. The example of waste reduction on the first step is prevention, and in the prevention we can go for waste reduction. If we go for waste reduction, then there is a decreased demand for raw materials and energy use. The second step is diversion. So when we diverge our waste for reuse, then again there will be decreased demand for raw materials and energy, and by waste reuse or from the waste we can recover the materials, and the recoverable materials can be reused. Then another option in diversion is waste recycling, and when we go for waste recycling, again the materials can be recovered from the waste and reused, and when we used recovered material, it means we are saving energy as well as our natural resources which otherwise were supposed to be used for making new materials. Then another option in diversion is source separated composting and anaerobic digestion. Yes, this option can be used for those materials, the materials that cannot be recycled or reused as such. Here mainly we are talking about the biodegradable waste. Okay, if these biodegradable wastes are composted or we do their anaerobic digestion, that time we recover an organic matter. This organic matter that we recover is in the form of either in the form of biogas slurry or in the form of compost or in the form of vermicompost, and these materials can be used as soil conditioner to maintain soil health in our agricultural field. In addition to this, we will get biogas, and that biogas can be used as energy at our homes or in our institutions. This will again help us to save our fossil fuels. Then in addition to this, we can also go for thermal treatment of our waste with energy recovery. Here we can talk about pyrolysis and other thermal methods. Here we recover energy. Then similarly, we can dispose our waste in the landfills with the recovery of energy. Then the last steps in this are thermal treatment without energy recovery and landfill disposal of the waste without energy recovery. So the last options which are given in this figure, we should think that we have minimum use of these options. We should apply our mind to have maximum use of other options which are given above these two options. Now we will discuss somewhat about waste audit. For any waste management program to be effective, it is essential that accurate information on the quantity and composition of waste stream is known. A waste audit is the first step toward it. It is a systematic procedure to review operations and waste generation. Information from these audits can help both at household levels and organizational level to determine methods of waste reduction. The objective of a waste audit at organization level are to determine the types of waste and amounts that is being generated, to identify areas where reduction of waste can be improved, to determine the effectiveness of any current waste management strategy. The purpose of a waste audit is to gain a detailed understanding of the types and weights of materials being generated. The waste audit results are used to improve the economic and environmental performance of waste management efforts. There are three major components to the waste audit. First one is preparation, second one is sorting, recording and cleanup, and the third one is the analysis and recording. When undertake an audit, means a waste audit, one person should be designated as the audit coordinator, and this person is responsible for preparing and leading the audit. Whenever we go for a waste audit, there are some basic requirements. We have to do some preparations. So we must know what preparations we have to do for a waste audit. These preparations include identification of material streams to be audited, sort waste into separate piles based on waste stream, choose an adequate sample size for the waste audit, locate a suitable facility for storing the waste and conducting the waste audit, verify the number of participants who will be helping with the audit and obtain the required safety materials, choose an auditing procedure that best suits the need of the firm. Actually, there are a number of auditing processes. One may be for example, the waste audit you have to do for a very big organization at big scale. Second, waste audit you have to do for a small organization at a smaller scale. Third, you have to do a waste audit for an organization. Fourth, you have to do a waste audit for a home. So for all kind of waste audits, the requirements may be different. So whenever you go or whenever you start a waste audit, you must be knowing your preferences and requirements. Obtain the materials required for that particular method of waste audit you are going to use. Conduct a training session. This is very, very important with the audit participants. So whenever you go for the waste audit, you will be requiring some materials, some resources. The resources which you require include the scales for the weighing of the waste materials, tarpaulins for spreading the waste for its sorting, then protective gloves. These are required for the audit team members. These may be rubber gloves or these may be disposable gloves. Then plastic boxes are required, and these plastic boxes should be labeled with a proper label that what kind of waste is stored in them. These plastic boxes can be labeled as or categorized as paper cardboard boxes, organic waste boxes, recyclable items boxes, or reusable item boxes, or landfill waste going wastes. In addition to this, we require pen, clipboards, plastic bags, audit record sheet. In addition to this, if you want to have photographs, you can have a camera. Nowadays, most of the people are having camera in their mobile phones. They can be used at the time of auditing. Yes. In this slide, we have shown the different steps which you have to adopt at the time of waste audit. These steps include plan the audit and determine the area, then collect the waste to be examined, sort the waste by category. The categories can be decided based on your requirements. Then analyze the data and finally prepare the report. Now we come to the planning and determining the study area. This is the first step of any waste audit. For example, in case of institutional waste, a team with the knowledge of waste together with its source of generation within the organization should be put together. This team can include 1 or 2 motivated and responsible people depending upon the size of the organization from each of the business areas like maintenance, cleaning, purchasing, production, line, etc. The objective of waste audit should be very clear to all the members of the team for it to be successful waste audit. The team should then walk through the facility to get to know about the types of waste generated and their location. This will then enable the team members to identify the study area. The second step should be to collect the waste from designated study area. There should be clear instruction regarding the type of waste to be collected for the waste audit team. If the material in which you are not interested are collected, certainly this is going to waste your time and you have to do more and more sorting. Then sorting is another very important step in the waste audit. This is the third step in any waste audit program. Sorting will enable in analyzing the types and quantity of waste generated by the organization. The quantification of different components in the waste stream can either be done indirectly based on purchase records, that is material wasted is equal to material purchased minus material used in product plus material unused, or directly by weighing the waste sorted and collected. Then next step, after sorting and recording the quantities of waste generated, is data analysis. This is the last step of any waste audit program. To analyze the data thus collected so as to identify the waste trends and habits of the organization. This can be done using an Excel spreadsheet or the sheets prepared for that particular waste audit program. This step is very crucial to draw a waste management plan and monitor its implementation. Thus, waste audit is a crucial procedure for waste management. So in this module, we have learned need for waste minimization, approaches to waste minimization, hierarchy of waste management, and waste audit. In the last, I would like to give two assignments to my students, or those are readers of this module. I will suggest the students, let they go in their school, let they go in their college, or let they go in their university and try to have a waste audit and make a plan how effectively that waste can be managed. Secondly, I will suggest the Masters or MSc Environmental Sciences student to visit a industry and to do a waste audit for that industry. If you search on internet, you will find lot of information regarding the waste auditing, waste hierarchy, and waste minimization. And from the internet also you can get different sheets which have been prepared for waste audit, because different kind of sheets have been prepared for different kind of industries or different kind of waste. So I would like my students to learn about them to enhance their knowledge on waste audit. Thank you.